This is a HeadGum podcast.
Hello and welcome to The Complete Guide to Everything, a podcast about everything. I'm one of your hosts, Tom.
And ho, 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 I'm Tim.
You should have said, I'm your co-ho-ho-host.
Crap.
Well, there's always next year.
Yeah, that's what I said last year when I screwed it up.
This will be the last episode we put out before December 25th, a.k.a. Christmas.
The Manger's main event. The main event in the manger.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, what else happens in a manger that's bigger than having Jesus Christ as one of your guests? Because
just any kind of human birth.
The motel's full.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. What usually goes on in a manger? What's a manger?
It's just like where the animals stay.
Is that where we get the word mange for dogs?
No. I mean, I don't know. That's where I mean, why do you think there's all those animals in like a nativity set?
I know that, but like I've never encountered a manger in like my trips, like field trips to a farm.
I feel like you probably did. You probably just didn't notice it because you were looking for a little baby in there. You thought that was what made it a manger.
A manger or trough is a rack for fodder or a structure or feeder used to hold food for animals. Wait, the manger isn't like it's like a trough? It's like where they put him?
That makes sense because think about like in the nativity scene, the baby Jesus is in that little, it looks like it's like a stroller, but they didn't have strollers back then. Yeah,
no.
It's where the pigs ate out of.
So they weren't all in the manger, just the baby was in the manger.
Yeah, I suppose so. And they put a bunch of hay in that first, which I feel like
of course you gotta. That's the Son of God in there. You put some hay in there, for Christ's sakes, literally.
But I feel like you put some hay in there, you're gonna confuse the animals.
Yeah,
because the animals they eat hay.
Yeah, but you gotta
the whole night. Joseph and Mary just shooing animals away.
That's what the three magi were doing. They were like, "Hey, hey, magi, get over here! Shoo these animals away for us.
Yeah,
we have to care for this baby."
The three wise guys, they came and they were like, "Hey, how about not keeping your baby in a pig trough? You ever hear that? How about staying in that inn?" But
yeah, do you think they were full. Very? Yeah.
You never hear about it in the Bible if people checking out of the inn the next day if they were walking by the manger like, ooh, well that stinks. That family had to stay in a filthy manger because I was staying in this inn.
Do you think there was anybody in that inn that was just like they saw it the next day and they were like, well, if I knew that there was a pregnant lady ready to pop, you could have knocked on my door.
Yeah, she could have stayed here with us. I mean, especially years and years later when they heard about Jesus and everything, they must have been like, oh boy, I don't want people to know I was one of the knuckleheads staying in that inn, not giving up his room.
Honey, it turns out that guy was that baby we saw that one time.
Yeah.
That they put in a dang trough full of hay.
Well, we were staying in that inn watching HBO.
Yeah. We were like, oh, poor little baby. Guess what? He's going to ascend to sit at the right hand of the Father.
Yeah. Poor little baby. And now look at him being crucified.
Man, some guys have all the luck. Tom, does it not feel like Christmas to you this year?
Christmas feels weird this year because I feel like simultaneously it doesn't feel like Christmas, but then also it feels like the run up to Christmas has been months long at this point.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because I've we had a kid 7 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Not you and I, my wife and I.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I just haven't been paying attention to
me
anything.
and you
I was
weren't
just
allowed
like,
to adopt.
uh,
They didn't
was-
like the scheme we had worked out of.
they were like, "You guys are up to something, aren't you?" And they were right. We were up to something.
Yep.
No, I just feel like I was here, like in this little bubble, being like, nobody's talking about Christmas. What's going on? But I guess I just haven't talked to anybody.
Yeah, I mean, are you talking about your infant son? He wasn't talking about this kid. Doesn't
Yeah.
he doesn't say what he wants for Christmas?
Cute kid, not much of a conversationalist.
What
though.
are you getting the baby Christmas presents, or is it like
No.
Yeah, because it's like we always. I mean, you'll probably get something like sentimental that says like baby's first Christmas, right?
No, I think somebody else will get him that.
Yeah, I guess
for
that's
us.
true.
I'm not gonna get anything. Look, first of all, he's getting a lot from us.
Yeah,
right now.
pretty much everything, I would assume.
And also, there's the thing: you have a gift registry before when you have a kid, and then everybody's like, "Let me buy things for the baby," and then they send a bunch of things to your house, and I'm very grateful for it.
Right,
But
but
also,
none of
like-
them are a stand-up NBA Jam arcade machine.
Yeah, or even a freaking remote control car from Radio Shack. Is that too much to ask?
Do
Was
you
Radio
ever
Shack-
say to your son, you know, some kids your age have to be in a manger?
All the time. Every time that he complains about sleeping in a sock drawer, I was like, you should see what they did to Jesus.
Every time he cries.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not going to get him anything because we have too much. We also live in a New York City apartment, and we
Right.
have, like, way too much stuff. And, like, you know, all of his grandparents are like, we want to buy him a bunch of stuff, too. And it's like, you just got him a bunch of stuff. We're like, we don't have any room for anything. Please
Yeah.
don't get him anything. But that's not a good thing to say. It's not like, hey, yeah, we got this new baby. Isn't he great? How dare you try to buy him
Well,
things?
you gotta just tell him to get you not huge things. I mean, I've had this problem too I remember years ago, my mom got me like all these like, you know, they're very nice like snack tables, but I was like, oh, I don't have enough chairs to warrant snack tables, nor do I have any place to put it. Also, for years, she's been wanting to get me a remote starter for my car. And, you know, it's like right now my car is parked like a quarter of a mile away from my home.
Right. And also, I just can't, like, start the car and walk away from it in New York City.
Right. Yeah. Somebody's going to smash the window and drive off with it.
Yeah. Yeah, if the car's running, I need to be there.
I have not noticed very many people in the Christmas spirit yet.
No. Have you
I-
been out a lot? I feel like I've seen Instagrams of you, like, out on the town.
Hey, I'm out and about. I went to Roosevelt Island the other day.
What were you doing there? Were you there in the smallpox hospital? Have you gotten smallpox?
Yeah, I thought I had smallpox, so I drove myself over to Roosevelt Island just to make sure. And they were like, oh, this island hasn't been used for that in a very long time. No, I had to drop a package off at not the post office, but like one of the, you know how, you know, like,
What? No, I don't know. This makes no sense.
well, I was going to say the post office, it's no fault of their own, but it stinks. And there's not one super close here. And I forgot to tell you, I got us a new P.O. box a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah, I
very
heard about
excited,
it.
got it all set up. And now I've been getting all these emails from the postal service. And they're like, activate your post office box or we'll return your money. And I'm like, wait, I did activate it. I have the receipt and the keys and everything. And then they sent me I filled out like a support thing telling them like, hey, yeah, I don't know what happened. And they sent me another email asking like, how are we doing? How was our response to your problem? And I just wrote like, you didn't respond to my problem. Don't send me a survey. But anyway,
Are you always conflicted when you get those surveys when, like, you have to talk to a customer service representative who is not empowered to help you at all?
yeah.
So they're reading from a script that infuriates you, but it's also like there's nothing they can do about it. And then you get an email like, how did we do?
Yeah.
And you know that if you're like, that sucked,
they'll
the
just
guy
fire that
that you
person.
talk to. Yeah, exactly. Or he'll get like docked pay or something.
Oh yeah,
It's
no.
just like,
I mean, I worked for a company that did those, and yeah, no matter what, it was Apple. I worked for Apple, and no matter what, we had like managers like me. I had to call every person, regardless of if they gave a low score, and so many times it was like a low. They were giving a low score because like. They ran over their computer and they brought it in thinking we would fix it for free, and we didn't. And they gave us, understandably, gave us a low score. And then it's like, well, now you have to call them. And it's like, what, to just fucking rub it in? Like, I'm not going to. So sometimes I would have to call these people to talk to them. And they'd be very excited at first because they'd be like, oh, a manager's reaching out. Okay, they're going to make this right. They're going to fix this. And then you'd have to be like, well, I mean, I can't do anything about that. If you'd like to buy a new computer, I can tell you about the features. So they're
very expensive.
Yeah. So and just as breakable as they used to be. So yeah, it was just like an incredibly frustrating. And I'm telling you, like, regardless, because there were things people would complain about that were like actual systemic issues. I don't know if I'm using
Racism.
that word right. No, just like, oh yeah, there's a flaw with this product that like Apple is not being upfront about. And those surveys never.
Were you just like, okay, goodbye? Like, well, I can't write that down on my report. I'll just say they weren't home.
Yeah. Oh, so many times I would like pretend to call and be like, nobody answered. Because if it was. But we were supposed to like leave messages and like make sure we talked to him. It was a nightmare. But yeah, a lot of times it was like, oh yeah, there is a known issue about this product that, the company's not telling people. And I can tell you for a fact, those surveys never went to the engineers that make that product or the vice presidents or whatever. So yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Sometimes the customer service representative is like, please fill out that survey. Because I feel like if people don't, or like, whatever, they're still at risk if you don't fill it out. And then you don't want to give them a low score, right? Because then they'll get in trouble. You don't want to not do it because then they'll get in trouble.
Well, it's better.
And so you give them a high score.
Yeah.
Then you give them a high score, and then all the company does is like put on a commercial like, see, we have a 90% satisfaction rate with our customers. And it's just like, yeah, because you were holding a minimum wage employee hostage in front of me.
Here's my rule. If somebody does, even a halfway decent job, give them all 5 stars. If it's something like that
out of 10, Tom, that's terrible.
It's a
failing grade.
They've got to strive higher. It motivates them. But if it's something that they don't have control over, I mean, if it's something where I didn't get the answer I wanted, I just call back or start a new chat and see what happens. But
or go down there and demand to talk to the manager,
or that. But I never give them a bad like, I just don't fill it out because it's like, you know what? I don't have anything nice to say, so I'm not going to say anything at all.
So wait, why were you at Roosevelt Island?
Oh, that was just a party, man. Just hang out. Tim, it's that time of year, Christmas time. I guess we were just talking about that for 15 minutes.
Yeah, did you want to talk about a manger again? And what that is?
But I didn't. You know what? I didn't actually get to what my story was.
I know. That's a shame.
Next week, it'll have to wait. It was just somebody being rude in the store.
As long as we get closure on that before the end of 2021, I don't want this to straddle years.
Right. You don't want people to be like, I remember Tom talking about that from 2021 all the way to 2022.
It'll be our big year-end finale.
Tim, Christmas cocktails.
Ooh. holiday cocktails, can we say?
Well, Christmas cocktails has a nicer, you got that alliteration. Plus, I feel like, are there, like, for the other holidays, the non-Christmas holidays, are there drinks that go along with those?
I don't know. How would you know?
I don't know.
How would either of us know?
I feel like just, Christianity in general really pushes alcohol.
That is true.
So
they love wine. They're always trying to give you wine when you're a kid and being like, it's okay.
yeah, it's okay. You can have
Catholicism, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, you can just have a sip. You can have a sip out of.
It's the weekend. Relax.
It's Sunday fun day.
You don't have to be at school for another 24 hours, man.
But here's the one caveat to that. You're gonna have to drink that wine out of the same glass that a bunch of old people drank it out of.
Yeah. They'll wipe it up with a rag, though. Yeah, an old lady will wipe it and then slightly turn it before giving it to the next person.
Yeah. And don't worry, all those people will have some cracker crumbs in their mouth that they might backwash into it while they're doing that. Ugh, gross.
Crackers, you call them.
Well, what would you call them? Unleavened bread?
I guess that's technically crackers.
Yeah. Do you remember the guy in our Catholicism classes that told us to consume all of it in case terrorists came in? If terrorists ever came in.
You talk about this all the time.
I know. That's the only thing I know. It's the body of Christ. And if a bunch of people come in with machine guns, throw yourselves in front of those machine guns to consume the Eucharist, because otherwise they're going to take it into the woods and pee on it.
Did you think it tasted good?
No, it never tasted good.
I thought it tasted fine.
I never thought it tasted that bad. Like, the other kids that were like, ew, it was like, it's fine.
Tastes like nothing. It tastes like you're eating styrofoam. And guess what? I was curious as to what styrofoam would taste like.
Yeah, Tim, I forgot that about you before I sided with you. That you're kind of a weird creep that wants to eat chalk and styrofoam and all kinds of stuff.
I'm just curious is all.
Tim, to start off, Christmas cocktails or holiday alcoholic beverages, maybe, let's say.
Did you purposely try to make it like not did you try to make it like the the most cumbersome thing, holiday alcoholic beverages to be enjoyed by adults?
I'm not trying to make it cumbersome, but I'm trying to make it all inclusive there.
Okay.
What's the first one that pops into your head, Tim?
Tom, I'm not gonna lie, it's nog. It's nog,
eggnog.
baby.
Eggnog, baby. And that's good that you mentioned that, because that's the only one that I have with me.
Yeah, no, that's the only one. Oh, you have it with you.
I have it with me. I'm looking at the directions of like how to make eggnog from scratch. It's disgusting. It's like, it's got eggs in it. It's a drink made of eggs.
Can you go through this with me? Do you do anything with the eggs
as far as cooking them?
Yeah, I guess not. That'd be gross if you had cooked egg whites in a...
Yeah, I mean, the recipe I'm looking at, which is the Food Network, and it's courtesy of Alton Brown. You know him.
I like him. Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a good man. I don't know. He probably, if there's any accusations against these cooks tend to be creeps. I don't know. I've seen a couple videos where he seemed nice, but
well,
that doesn't. It doesn't mean that he's necessarily a nice
Tim,
guy.
You've already said too much.
Shit.
If Alton Brown's getting canceled, you're going down with him now. Famed
Alton Brown apologist.
Yeah, famed Alton Brown defender. Well, in this recipe there are 7 steps, but you only have to do the first 3. Step 4 is actually a cook's note, and it says, for cooked eggnog, follow procedure below.
Right.
So it's not supposed to be cooked, but understandably, some people are, a little apprehensive about drinking uncooked eggs. Not Rocky Balboa.
And look how strong he was.
It's true.
This even for cooked eggnog, you only heat the milk, cream, and nutmeg, and then you stir that into the room temperature egg.
Oh, okay. Huh.
Which I guess in and of itself would.
Well,
then return everything to the pot and then cook to
I see.
160.
So basically, they don't want you to like cook the eggs the whole time because you'll wind up with just scrambled eggs.
Yeah,
really wet
imagine
scrambled eggs.
Just scrambled eggs, milk, and rum. Just mix that together.
Scrambled eggs floating on top like a garnish.
Now, okay, so eggnog in and of itself is not an alcoholic beverage.
No, but it's generally generally you have it with alcohol. I feel like. And
now, was I right? Is that rum that you're supposed to put in?
You can use rum. I believe traditionally you use bourbon or whiskey.
Okay.
But
really?
You could use rum. This recipe is just in a bowl of a stand mixer. Beat the egg yolks until they lighten in color. Gradually add a third of a cup of sugar. Continue
Did you
to
do
beat.
This?
No.
Why are you telling me this?
And then add milk, cream, bourbon, and nutmeg. Stir. Place the egg whites in the bowl of a stand mixer. So you're mixing the egg whites and the yolks separately, and then you're whisking the egg whites into the mixture.
Right. Okay. That's the thing they do with egg whites, where they essentially turn it into like cream with peaks on it and stuff. Right?
Yes. Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, what is this, whipped cream? And it's like, no, it's the worst part of an egg.
No, it's the gross part of eggs. It's the slimy part. Tim, I bought some eggnog from the store, though. I bought ultra pasteurized eggnog because
they heated the hell out of it, Tom.
Yeah, I don't want salmonella. Now, what is pasteurization? They heat it and they pressurize it, and that way it doesn't cook, or they do it so fast the milk doesn't know what's happening, something like that.
Yeah, exactly. If you can trick it into not knowing how hot it's getting. Pasteurization.
So this eggnog, Tim, I bought. I believe in New York you can only buy non-alcoholic eggnog at the store, even though this is Southern Comfort brand eggnog. But then it says non-alcoholic, which is weird. I
feel like you can't really have a packaged alcohol and milk product that's gonna keep or like travel or like.
Yeah,
I just feel like that's a bad scene. It wouldn't be like shelf stable.
Yeah, and I think it's easy enough to just tell. Right here on the side it says preparation: mix 1 quart eggnog with 1 cup Southern Comfort. Pour in a glass and garnish with a cinnamon stick. I didn't know they had a bunch of different brands of eggnog, but none were like any brand I've ever heard of except Southern Comfort.
See, the ones that my family used to get, and the only reason they'd get it is because my brother pretended to like it.
Which, knowing you means your brother did like it, but you think he's pretending to like it.
Nah, I just think he was just like, I think he thought he liked it at one point.
Jesus Christ.
It was like,
people can like things you don't like.
No, I know, but this is what I think happened. I think he was just like, one year he was like, oh, eggnog. I think I like eggnog. And like not remembering like when he was a kid. Because like this isn't boozy eggnog. This is just straight gross eggnog. I think when he was like 8 years old, he was like, oh, eggnog. That's like, I like Christmas stuff. Yeah, bring it. Yeah. And then my parents were like, no, I don't think you would like it. And he's like, no, I think I do. I think I've had it and I think I like it. Just kind of like in his head, got it into his head that like, oh, it's a Christmas thing that I enjoyed. Yeah, and they brought it home, and I think he took a sip and was like, oh, shit, I do not like this, but now I'm pot committed here. So for like the next 30 years, he's been like, Yeah, pick up some eggnog that I'll drink without alcohol. It won't even get me drunk.
Tim, I don't think your brother has pretended to like eggnog for 30 years because once when he was a kid, he lied and said or not even lied, forgot
Yeah,
that he
mistaken.
didn't like it.
Yeah, I don't want to say that he was. I think he's just been trying to save face for 30 plus years. I respect his commitment.
But you respect his commitment, but he's not pulling one by you. You still know he doesn't like it.
Exactly.
Now, but here's where I told you, Tim, earlier we were chatting on IRC, AOL Instant Messenger. Mm-hmm. And I told you that I forget how I put it, but that I just spent $20 on fucking eggnog, and it's not even the good kind. But I didn't tell you what that meant. And now what that meant was that I bought. So you've been to the supermarket that I frequently go to.
Mm-hmm.
In the supermarket I frequently go to.
Wait, I'm not sure. What's the address of it?
This place is great because they've always got promotional items. They've always got, marketing gimmicks. And a lot of times they've got like gimmicks that they're like, I feel like didn't sell at like a mainstream supermarket, like a Shop and Stop or something, or ShopRite. And they've then just like offloaded it on this like small New York City. I think maybe this place has like 3 supermarkets.
Right. It's low class.
Yeah. And they've always got weird stuff like for like a short period, maybe like a month or so. They were selling CBD joints, just like straight up like rolled joints. And it's like this place doesn't sell cigarettes or anything else you can smoke, but they sell CBD weed. And I don't think that like ever sold well. Sorry, I had to open the door because my dog wanted to get out. And now my headphones are sticking to the microphone.
This is why you should never get a dog.
But,
to the listener, not you. You should have gotten the dog. It's very fulfilling. But if you don't already have a dog, don't get a dog. It'll ruin your podcast.
Sometimes you'll want to leave during the podcast. But anyway, so they have a history of just kind of having like weird stuff sometimes. And now they had this Fireball whiskey. You know, the brand Fireball whiskey? They had like little nips of that. And I was like, that's weird. Like, because
I've seen that at liquor stores. I have a couple of those in my home for some reason. I don't know where they came from. It might have come with the apartment.
So you see them at liquor stores, but in New York State, supermarkets cannot sell liquor. They can sell beer and like malt beverages, and maybe even perhaps mead, but they can't sell liquor and they can't sell wine. Now, sometimes they do sell wine, but if you look closely at it, it's not full strength wine. It's like wine product, they'll call it sometimes.
Right. Grape juice, apparently, for hardcore alcoholics, right?
Yeah.
What is that? Only 5% alcohol?
I don't know what percent it is. I mean, yeah, it does have some alcohol, but it's like half what you would find in regular wine, I think. And, I think a lot of times it's like, oh, this is like cooking wine, maybe. That's why they have it. But anyway, I thought like, oh, this is probably just like some weird thing they're just trying to offload before somebody catches them. So I bought it, but then I looked into, and I've got it right here. You can see it.
Mm-hmm. Fireball, cinnamon.
But then I looked into like what's going on here. Tim, this is a scam. This is not whiskey.
Did you get scammed by the supermarket?
I did, Tim. This is a malt liquor.
That's horrible.
The back says, "What do you have here? Tastes like smooth whiskey with a fiery kick of red hot cinnamon. It tastes like heaven, burns like hell. What happens next is up to you." So they say, "What do you have here? Tastes like smooth whiskey," but doesn't say, but it's not.
Is that true of all Fireball?
No. But in fact...
Is Fireball not a brand?
Tim, Fireball is not only a brand. Fireball is, is the fourth largest spirits brand in the United States.
You said that like I should be impressed. Okay. Did you found it?
No, I'm just saying like it's a very
You're saying
popular
that with such
brand.
pride. Yeah.
But then the rest, these people, these Fireball people, they're fucking tricksters. Because then listen to the next line here about Fireball. The number one whiskey brand expression in the U.S. What the hell does that mean? The number one whiskey brand expression? Not the number one whiskey brand, the brand expression. The number one shot brand on premise. A top 10 spirits brand off premise. So I guess that means like, people
At
order
a bar
shots.
and,
yeah.
Yeah.
Which I guess makes sense that, people would order a Fireball. Like, that's going to beat out, it's not like the majority of shots are Fireballs, but it's going to beat out all the other brands put together, or not put together, but on their own.
Is this just an airing of the grievances against Fireball? Why are you telling me this?
Well, because Tim, oh boy, the label is exactly the same. It says Fireball Cinnamon Whiskey, where this just says Fireball Cinnamon.
Yeah.
So I'm pissed because I've had one pulled over on me, but I've already pre-mixed some of this, Tim. I'm gonna pour it into a rocks glass because I'm classy. And then I'm going to give it a little taste.
So it's eggnog with the Fireball or with regular whiskey?
A fire nog, they call it.
Okay.
The
not real
Fireball
whiskey.
people. But it's not real whiskey. That's delicious. Tim, we just took a brief interlude. Your son came in.
Yeah.
To see.
I brought him in.
Well, he still came in. See what the hell was going on. And during that time, I took 2 more sips of this eggnog, and I no longer like it.
No, you should have you have whiskey at your house, right?
No, I don't have whiskey at my house.
Oh.
I can't keep whiskey at my house, Tim. If I have whiskey in my house, I drink it.
You have no idea how much alcohol I have in my house, and I can't drink a drop of alcohol right now because I do,
yeah,
I'll be I'm already running on fumes here. If God forbid,
Something.
I have a glass of whiskey one night, and then I'm not helpful in the middle of the night when he wakes up or something. Then that's something for my wife to lord over me for the rest of my life.
You were drunk.
If she did the same thing, I would do that too, because that's what I've
drunk
learned.
With your idiot
Parenthood is
friend on the internet.
Exactly. So I have so many bottles of whiskey here, Tom.
Wow.
And I have
Hand them
a lot
over.
of wine. Yeah, come get.
Hand them over before they go bad. Now, Tim, I'm not going to get over there, and you're going to give me this whiskey, and then I'm going to look at the label and realize it's actually malt liquor that tastes like whiskey.
You're still gonna drink that Fireball, even nog or no nog.
Yeah, because I had to buy a 6-pack of these Fireballs.
Oh, they were sold in a 6-pack.
Yeah, and the sign said $8, but then it rang up $13, and I was like too embarrassed to be buying it in the first place.
Yeah, that's an embarrassing thing to be haggling. Like you wouldn't be haggling, but
Right,
nobody
to
likes
just be
a
like,
price
can
check.
you go over
they'd
there?
have to get on the thing.
Yeah. And they weren't even that far away. I really should have been like, but I'm also mad at myself that I didn't just take one of these things out of the little 6-pack and scan and see if it would scan, on the scanner thing, and I could have just bought one. Now I've got 6 of these things, and I got eggnog, and like I said, it was like $20 altogether for all this shit. So I'm going to drink it all tonight.
You want me to pay for it, is what you were telling me off mic?
No, it's not even that. Even if somebody else paid for it, I would still feel this was expensive. I shouldn't let it go to waste.
Right.
Really only the eggnog, is going to go bad. These Fireballs, they'll be fine.
Yeah.
And especially because otherwise at my supermarket, again, discount clearance items, they've been selling these 8 packs of margaritas that I thought were margarita seltzers, but they're not seltzers. They're not even fizzy, but they're delicious. $6 for an 8 pack. That's less than $1 each. So I've been trying to stock up on those every time I go.
You must be a lot of fun these days.
It's just a bunch of
always drunk on canned margaritas.
drunk on canned margaritas and fake Fireball. Yeah, there hasn't been just like a beer in my apartment in a while. Like, no, I gotta drink all these first. But anyway,
eggnog.
Eggnog.
We can hang out more. Yeah.
Eggnog.
Oh, we're still on nog?
Well, no, I'm wrapping up nog.
Okay.
I mean, I'm still on nog. Like I said, I'm still going to drink all of this. But the next, do you have any you want to talk about? You know, I'm hogging the nog over here.
Hey, I don't mind you hogging the nog.
That sounds like I don't know, something you would ask somebody and then get canceled for.
Yeah, exactly. Tom, I think
hey, quit hogging the nog.
Nog. Now okay.
It's also so gross that like the traditional way eggnog is served is in a punch bowl. So it's like not only is it raw eggs, it's just out in a giant bowl.
In a giant communal bowl.
Yep. Yeah.
I don't know. Have you ever been anywhere like in your life? Have you ever like drank anything out of a punch bowl?
Yeah, I've drank. It's a hell of a good time.
I didn't go to a real college with parties like that.
Yeah, but that's like I feel like parties with like a punch bowl. That happens at Yale.
Yeah.
You know, this college parties maybe
or
it was
college.
like a
Well,
bucket
college is in
with
like the 70s too.
Yeah, it would be like a bucket with a red Solo cup that was designated as the. I don't think there were even cups. It was like, you know, just put your cup in this to take some. And also, you probably don't. Any communal drink at a college is probably filled with drugs, so don't take it. Only drink something sealed. But I feel like maybe I had eggnog at like my grandparents when I was a kid, and they had it in like a bowl.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's gross.
Also, a few years ago, I got my brother for Christmas replicas of the Wally World eggnog cups that they had in National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
That's cool.
And they were like they looked exactly like the eggnog cups that they had. So that was cool. But I don't know if he's ever drank eggnog out of it.
You should ask. Should we call him? Does he pretend to like eggnog just like my brother?
Tim, I don't think that's a thing, and I especially don't think it's a brother thing.
Tom, all right, here's the only one. I was looking on some lists of holiday cocktails, and this came up on a couple lists. Okay. Does this seem like a holiday cocktail to you? It's one that I like, so I'm calling it out.
All right.
Whiskey ginger.
Oh, I didn't see that on any lists.
The ones that I've seen all have like recipes to them, and it's like, you know, I'll get a whiskey ginger sometimes at a bar. It's ginger ale and whiskey, right?
Yeah.
It's cool. But they always have like candied ginger with it, which I think maybe puts it over the top.
Who always has it?
The recipes that I saw from like...
Oh, so for like a holiday version.
Yeah, like a holiday twist. You put some candied ginger on a toothpick, throw that in there. Suddenly, you're celebrating the birth of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I recently had... I got my booster shot. You know, this big hubbub going around about this virus. And
what were you saying off mic about it, though?
I was saying I found a way to take the shot out right after I got it. Uh, I did, I like read a thing online about how there were people like, all these people figuring out how to get the vaccine out of them. People
Right.
that were like, oh, I need to get it for my job or whatever, but then I want it out.
Yeah.
And one of them was,
but I still want to potentially die.
one of them was, well, I mean, the headline for all this was like, no, there's not a way to do that. Within like 3 seconds of the shot going in, it's working and you can't get it out. It's not like a snake bite. But taking a bath in borax. And coincidentally, that day that I had read that, my girlfriend ordered borax, but didn't realize.
What are you guys using borax for? Oh, it's like a cleanser, right?
Yeah, but she didn't realize, I think, that it was like a 5-pack, so just like 20-pound box of borax. And I thought, somebody's trying to get rid of their vaccine. But my point was going to be,
I would probably try a sauna if I was,
yeah, that seems like
you sweat it out, right? And also, if it doesn't work, it's always nice to spend some time in a sauna.
Absolutely. But the reason I bring this up is when I got my booster, I felt like shit. And she had actually gotten, you ever have a ginger shot? Like a little.
Yeah, I used to have those all the time.
Holy moly, that'll put hair on your chest.
Yeah, I used to drink those with lunch every day.
Yeah.
And they were like $4 for like a shot.
Oh, yeah, a little
something.
teeny thing.
Yeah.
But I could see how if you made a whiskey.
Hemorrhaging, I went bankrupt, so I had to stop. I had a dangerous addiction to those ginger shots.
But I could see how if you, I usually have a whiskey and ginger ale, but I've had like a ginger beer stronger than ginger ale, right? Like the ginger taste. So I could see how if you put like a little actual ginger in there, that would make it. I feel like that's what cinnamon is, what ties most of these recipes together, right?
Right.
That's what makes something like a holiday or Christmas drink.
I think so. Cinnamon or some sort of, I think candy involved, like peppermint or something, right?
Yeah.
Some sugary, or like, a spiked hot chocolate could be, if you and whipped cream. I think it's about, oddly, being a little naughty.
What does that mean?
You know what I mean? Like indulging a little bit. Indulgent.
Yeah, I guess like a lot of them do have like chocolate or sugar. Like
like rich, a lot of them have like milk and cream
eggs.
and sugar and
actual just raw eggs.
Yeah.
I was surprised too. I was looking at this. This does have eggs in it. It has real eggs. I mean, it's listed after high fructose corn syrup and sugar, and then corn syrup. Egg yolks. So not a ton, but some.
Yolks?
Yeah, just yolks. No egg whites, it looks like.
I bet that tastes good. Can you drink that straight?
Oh, yeah, you can drink it straight.
No, take a swig. I'm asking you to do it right now.
Well, hold on.
I think it'll probably just taste like a milkshake.
Yeah, it's actually it's not bad. It does taste like a milkshake. And I'm realizing now that everything I liked about it was the eggnog and not the Fireball. Just makes it worse.
You got essentially fake eggnog and fake whiskey.
Yeah. And together, it tastes really good at first. And then, but again, spent a lot of money on it. So I'm going to drink it all. I saw next thing on my list of cocktails, not of who's naughty or nice. Mulled wine.
Mulled wine. Wine with mold in it.
A bottle of red.
It tastes like...
You need a bottle of red. Hey, where have we heard that before? Bottle of red.
Yeah, I'm picturing maybe a scene from an Italian restaurant somewhere.
Yeah. An orange, peeled and sliced. 2/3 honey. 2/3 of a cup of honey. 1/4 cup of brandy, 3 cinnamon sticks, 8 whole cloves or more to taste, and 1 teaspoon, once again, of grated fresh ginger. I like mulled wine. Mulled wine's nice.
I do like mulled wine as well.
Yeah.
I'm very much a fan of, and I haven't done this in a while now because this dang pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
I like going into a bar on a cold winter night, probably like a cold December night before the winter gets like super depressing, and just be like, you know, what kind of hot beverage do you have? Do you have a hot toddy? Do you have a mulled wine?
Can you warm me up? Can you
Exactly.
warm these old bones?
What happens is I'll walk in and they'll be like, oh, because here comes a snowman, because I'll have, you know,
right,
a big snow for a head, and then it's a snow.
Yeah, you have a big
torso.
snow for a head,
It's a big snowball for a head, and then a
Carrot.
carrot nose and 2 eyes made out of coal, and a scarf. And then I'll be like, "Whoa, what do you got?" And they'll be like, "Here's a hot toddy," and I'll take a sip of that. It'll melt off, and there's a person under there. It's me.
Right, and they're like, "Whoa, we thought you were a snowman."
Yeah, exactly.
And
Get the hell out. We told you never. It's you. We told you never to come back.
You're not allowed in here after last time. Yeah, I feel
you
like
and Alton Brown came in here and were.
and you both know what happened. We're not even. I can't even repeat it. It makes me sick. Yeah, when me and you were roommates, I feel like there were a couple of go-to bars near us that always in like when it was very cold, you could count on them to have like a big crock pot of mulled wine or hot toddies or something or cider.
Yeah, that's what I'm after.
Yeah. Yeah, it is
cozy.
It is nice. I mean, you can only have like one of those.
That's the thing. 2 max. But if you're like, you know, back in the day when we were roommates, where it's like, I'm gonna go out for 8 drinks tonight, and then you have like eight mugs of mulled wine. Like that's not good.
Or 8 hot
Start
toddies.
to hallucinate. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like too much sugar and everything else.
Yeah.
You want to too much hot. You can only drink so much hot liquid.
I mean, that's not true, but
Before it burns a hole in your tummy. Well, so along those lines, the hot toddy, another favorite. I feel like I got this. I got a lot of these recipes from allrecipes.com because I was like, well, if they have all recipes, they should have these recipes.
right.
And I feel like this is like a sponsored one or something because it says 1.5 ounces Jim Beam honey whiskey, 1/2 ounce of Jim Beam black, and then 1/4 ounce of maple syrup diluted 1-to-1 with water, 2 lemon wedges, and a cinnamon stick for garnish. But I feel like the traditional recipe is just honey and whiskey, right? And maple syrup.
Yeah, maybe some tea in there, some kind of tea.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like a honey tea? Is that a thing? Or a lemon tea instead of the
Maybe
lemon wedges?
Lemon tea.
Yeah.
Maybe just an Earl Grey.
Maybe. Who knows? What does
Tom, you ever?
Earl Grey tea taste like?
That's just tea.
Okay.
Tastes like tea. It tastes like what your grandma gave you when you were sick, when you were like 5 years old, and you were like, "This is what tea tastes like. This sucks."
This is disgusting. I'm better now. Please let me leave.
Oh, so this is what all you old ladies have been drinking. Not interested.
My grandma mostly drinks screwdrivers.
Have you ever had a boozy hot chocolate?
Not like a. Oh, yeah, actually, I have, but you know where I've had them frequently?
Frequently?
What was that?
Frequently? How frequently are you having these?
Not super frequently, but our good friends, the Gregory brothers, have for years were doing holiday song performances at the YouTube offices in New York.
Right.
And they would have at the YouTube offices, they would have a like boozy hot chocolate stand.
And you would pretend to be their roadie. You'd come in.
I'd pretend to be one of them. I would wear a wig.
Hi, Tom Gregory. Nice to meet you.
But the wacky thing was that it was a manned station, but the person manning the station, their job was to pour you the hot chocolate, and then on the table was just bottles of whiskey.
Yeah, it's Google. They don't care. Drink all the whiskey you want.
Oh yeah, but I just think it's funny. You would think it would be the other way around.
No, the liability is you're going to burn yourself.
Yeah. I mean, I also remember one year seeing probably an underage child, some like probably gigantic YouTube celebrity making one. And he was just like, I was like, what the fuck is this kid doing? Because he got a hot chocolate and then he was pouring in like whiskey and then vodka and then rum and then he was just pouring everything they had in there. And then he took a sip and he was like, oh God, this tastes horrible.
That's a Long Island boozy hot chocolate.
Exactly. I was just watching him like, I should say something. This person doesn't know what
Long
they're
Island
doing.
cocoa, my friend. Yeah.
And it wasn't to get more liquor, because it's like, oh, you could just fill up a cup with whiskey or vodka if you want that.
Yeah.
Don't
he was
mix
doing the
all these
suicide.
things.
He was doing the, hey, Burger King's letting us fill up this cup with whatever I want. I'm going to mix it all together. I'm a freaking food scientist over here. What's the deal with Bailey's Irish Cream? That I feel like happens in a lot of hot drinks, right? Like it's like, oh, you coffee with Bailey's is an Irish coffee, or a hot chocolate with Bailey's. I don't think I've ever had Bailey's.
You've had
boozy
Bailey's.
cream? I don't think so. Why do you think I have? Have you given it to me?
I've given it to you, whether you know it or not. It's a liqueur made from...
You've been putting it in my milk? You've been putting it in my cereal every morning?
No, Tim, but when you come
to
over...
make me docile?
When you come over here and you ask for a milk, I slip a little of that in there for you, too.
Yeah, you learned that from Alton Brown, didn't you?
Yeah,
trick.
It makes you more pliable. Makes you more susceptible to suggestions. Bailey's, I'm looking it up right here, and it says it is a liqueur made with whiskey, cream, and a cocoa extract. And you can drink it straight, of course, but a lot of people put in mixtures. This Bailey's, I believe,
seems to be frowned upon to drink it straight.
Yeah, Bailey's has 17% alcohol, which I believe is like on par with this
fake Fireball.
Fake Fireball. Tim, I mean, I don't know if you know, but I have very good eyesight, and they have
very cool thing to brag about.
This font. I'm gonna post maybe a picture. I'll show you a picture of this. Like the choice of font and color and kerning and everything have made it virtually impossible to see that this is 16.5% alcohol by volume, which is about half what the regular Fireball is, right. The real Fireball, but about on par with the Bailey's. I like Bailey's with coffee, but I also just like coffee with whiskey sometimes. That's also nice. Yeah, you get a nice stimulant and depressant together. They always go well.
Mm-hmm. It's good for your body.
Mm-hmm.
Your body likes it.
Keeps your body on its toes.
It keeps you on an even keel.
Ooh.
Eventually.
The bottom sip of this Southern Comfort eggnog was thick. Make another one. What about hot apple cider?
Yeah, I like it. With booze in it.
Well, yeah. This recipe that I'm looking at, all these recipes are too complicated. 6 cups apple cider, and you would think, okay, done. Hot apple cider. Heat it up. Put it in the microwave. You're all set.
Fire. No, you need fire.
1/4 of a cup of real maple syrup, 2 cinnamon sticks, 8 whole cloves, 6 whole allspice berries, 1 orange peel cut into strips, 1 lemon peel cut into strips.
What the hell is this?
I mean, I guess that makes
booze?
it nicer. cloves. What else? What else do you use cloves for aside from smoking them? If you're cool.
Stuff like this.
Yeah.
Like
you like put them in
complicated
a ham?
boozy drinks. Yeah, maybe you put them in a ham, or not in a ham. You put them in a turkey, maybe.
I think you put them on a ham. You like stick them in the ham.
Cloves. Oh yeah, you take a clove. Clove of what? Garlic?
Who knows? I mean, whatever the man at the supermarket gives you when he asks for a clove.
Yeah.
Could you, in a pinch, could you use some, smoking cloves? Could you put those in with your ham and still make it delicious?
Tom, I saw like a man, I think in his 50s, walking down the street near me the other day, smoking a clove cigarette.
Yeah.
I thought that was for like 16-year-olds.
Yeah, right. And why is it even for 16-year-olds? Because it doesn't have nicotine, right? So
yeah, I think it's just like kids were like, "Hey, look, cool, I'm smoking," but it was like the kids.
But I
who were
don't
like,
want to
it was
get
like the
addicted
art
to
class
nicotine.
kids. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And some people said that they liked the smell. The smell was always sickening to me.
It's fine.
I didn't like it. I mean, I
got wistful when I smelled that man.
Oh, you should have said, "Hey, man, can I get a drag?"
No, I never smoked a clove in my whole life.
Well, then you should have said, "Hey, man, can I just walk behind you for a bit?"
I remember at ska shows that my ska band played at a catering hall a few towns over. Some cool kids would sit under the merch tables and smoke cloves.
Why under the merch table? Oh, so nobody would see them?
Yeah, and also it's just like a thing that like teens at ska shows do. Yeah, exactly.
Hot boxing under the merch table?
No, because it wasn't like there was like
they weren't like
behind. There weren't like tablecloths or anything.
Why were they under the merch table? What if somebody wants to come look at the merch?
They did, and it was fine. They were under the table. They were out of the way.
I don't like it. This one sounded good.
I think there's a lot of things about those ska shows that you wouldn't like.
I was at plenty of those, and I could give you a list if you'd like. Red wine, hot chocolate.
Nah, I don't want that.
This is a 1.5 cups, half and half divided. So I guess 1.5 cups of each. 4 ounces of semi-sweet Belgian chocolate. 43% cacao. 1.5.
This is too specific. I don't like that.
1.5 teaspoons of white sugar. Oh, wait a minute. 1.5 cups of half and half. They mean like the milk.
Yeah, what did you think?
I thought they meant like half red wine, half hot chocolate. But then I'm looking at the rest of the recipe.
That's grosser than half and half. But I guess
no, drinking 1.5 cups of half and half. That's too much half and half.
Is this for one drink?
I guess, because then it says, or maybe not, half a cup of Cabernet Sauvignon.
Yeah, this is more than. What does it say? It says somewhere serves.
I copied them into a note, Tim, and I didn't get everything. It probably serves, I don't know, 2 people. I mean,
this is from all recipes?
Yeah. Half a cup of red wine is not that much red wine. How are you going to get lit off of this?
Nobody's looking to get lit, and
well, then it's not going to be a very fun Christmas party.
I guess it's just 2 cups of liquid.
Yeah, which is
I don't know, Tom. You just drank a gallon of nog that was
it wasn't
all
a gallon.
Different types of sugars.
3 ounces of nog. I was
Tom,
also what?
This yields 2 servings, by the way.
Okay, that's about what I guessed.
Okay.
Hold on, I'm going to make myself some more nog over here. You got to really shake it in this thing.
Yeah. To really
Also
distribute those egg yolks.
Yeah. Be careful when you take the cap off of your shaking thing because sometimes you'll get eggnog all over your computer when you do that. They won't tell you that in the recipe.
Tip. Yeah. That's
The last recipe I want to talk about here, Tim, hot buttered rum. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this is the recipe here says super easy to make and then proceeds to list like 30 ingredients. 8 tablespoons unsalted butter, half a cup firmly packed dark brown sugar, quarter of a teaspoon pure vanilla extract, half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, eighth of a teaspoon of ground ginger, quarter of a teaspoon of ground nutmeg, eighth of a teaspoon of ground cardamom. I've never even heard of that. 1 pinch ground cloves.
Cardamom you've never heard of?
Yeah, you've heard of cardamom?
Yeah.
Where the hell have you heard that? Spice Town? Spice School?
Yeah, Spice Town.
Have you been going to Spice School in Spice Town?
Yeah.
1 pinch ground cloves can be from a clove cigarette, it says. Or just 1 clove cigarette. And then a pinch of salt. And that's just for the batter. And then you got to make all that. And then for the drinks, 6 tablespoons heavy cream, 1 1/8 cups dark rum, 4 1/2 cups boiling water, and then 8.
You said boiling water like that's the weirdest ingredient. Boiling water.
It says that much or as needed, and then 1/8 of a teaspoon ground nutmeg or to taste. But it just blew my mind. This all recipes, they literally put super easy to make. Doesn't sound super easy to make. Sounds super complicated.
If you have those spices on hand, it's not that. You just go to your spice cupboard, Tom.
Where am I going to find 1/8 of a teaspoon?
In your freaking drawer.
I only have quarter teaspoons.
So use half of that.
Well, that's not going to be very accurate.
Tim,
what if I do that and then I have some of this and it makes me sick?
What does Alton Brown always say? You gotta.
I don't know what he always says, Tim. I could tell you a few things he said to me that I don't think I can repeat.
All right, you got any other? Stop drinking. You're gonna get sick, Tom.
I am gonna get sick.
We have more to record after
this is too much eggnog. Puking nog. I told you though, I bought it. I'm gonna use it.
Out of every pore in your body.
I don't know. It's getting better as it warms up. It's getting nicer.
Yeah. Are you putting the Fireball in it every time?
Yep. Every time. First time, every time. Holiday Spice. That's a nice sounding drink. Poinsettia Punch Cocktail. These are other drinks that I found on here.
Yeah. Everything that I've seen, seems like one-offs. There's candy cane margarita, and it's that's not a thing that you can order anywhere.
At least the ones that I've talked about and you've talked about, these are at least when I'm saying holiday, I'm not saying put a fucking candy cane in it and be like, oh, it's a Christmas old fashioned. These are pure. If you're drinking these in the summer, everybody's gonna look at you like you're a sicko.
Yeah.
Unless it's a Christmas in July party.
Tom, you're not looking too hot right now.
I don't think this eggnog was refrigerated before I bought it. I think it might have been sitting out on the loading dock for a while. Ugh. This eggnog so bad for you. I'm looking at the nutrition facts now.
All right.
I think I've had about 1,000 calories of eggnog. If you like the show, you can find out more at tcgt.com. Check out our...
I was wary of intro. I thought maybe you were on a jag that you...
Nope.
I'm just gonna stay out of things.
Patreon.com/complete guide, where you can get our Patreon. This month we're doing holiday movies. And this week, the new episode that just came out, it's all about Jingle All the Way. A Christmas classic if there ever was one. You can follow us on Facebook, facebook.com.
Starring a strong man, Tom.
He's a lot more than that. He's also a comedian. Facebook.com/complete guide, Twitter.com/complete guide. Instagram is at TCGTE. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Tom Reynolds.
Follow me at your pal Tim.
Follow me on Twitter. I'm doing these Twitter spaces every week. Live audio for putting in your ears. And you can, and it's interactive. Web 2.0. Reddit, Discord, go to tcgt.com. You can find the links for that. It's fun. It's a fun time. I apologize
the Discord has been lit lately.
And I apologize for doxing the Discord recently when they were talking about how hot Ernest is. But they're not wrong.
Ernest is, he's a handsome man. Yeah.
I also forgot to bring up that a lot of people have pointed out in recent years that John Cena looks just like Ernest.
Really?
Yeah. They've got the same face. It's weird.
John Cena.
And then Ernest. Type in.
Well, I know what Ernest looks like.
Yeah, but you got to see the side by side. It'll really.
John Cena. Do
Ernest.
I search Ernest or
John Cena?
Givardi?
Ernest. Yeah, don't worry.
I see. Yeah, I know. I mean, it's fine. Yeah, I guess. They're making similar faces in this picture.
Yeah, but I mean, the face is like an Ernest face.
Right.
They look like they could be brothers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right. Maybe they are. We don't know anything about John Cena or Ernest. Well, we know a lot about Ernest.
All right. Anything to end on, Tim, before Christmas comes
Tom,
along?
I just want to wish you and yours and all of our listeners a happy holidays.
I think I gotta pour this eggnog down the sink.
Tom, I'm worried about you.
Again, it's making me hot now.
Hey, Merry Christmas, buddy.
Merry Christmas, everyone, and also you, Tim.
Lay off the nog.
Over my dead body. You also pry it out of my dead hand. All right, we'll see you next week.
That was a HeadGum podcast.